Hey, County Sports Hub viewers, joined by Michael Schofield, one of the senior players at the Karaka Cricket Club, as we sort of count down to what should be the start of the season with any luck next Saturday, a week away, as the region moves into the traffic light system. Michael, obviously the season's been delayed. COVID has prevented us from getting onto the park as we normally would. What sort of impact has that had with your team and with cricket players in general across the board? Been able to train, obviously, haven't you, in socially distanced the last couple of weeks, but what sort of impact do you think that might have?
Yeah, I mean, well, just as it sort of hit the first time there, back in August, we were just about to kick into all the winter trainings and indoor trainings and things, and obviously that got blown out of the water, and then a few of us we didn't think it was going to go this long, so we kind of got out there and did a few sessions ourselves when the weather allowed it to. But then it kind of rained, and then it kept going, and I think everyone's sort of motivation waned a bit through those months of late September, October. But now that we've got a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, we've sort of started to get out and do a bit of socially distanced trainings with the picnic rug next to us, obviously. And yeah, now obviously with the new announcement, I know Counties have been doing a heap of work there along with New Zealand Sport to try and get us out there, because obviously not being a contact sport. So now that we have been able to do that, we've started to have a few more structured trainings, and this week's all go. And then we'll have a bit of an inter-club fixture this week, trying to keep it within our club so that we don't extend our bubbles any more than we need to. But we certainly need to hit out, otherwise we're going to be in big trouble going into the first comp game in December 4th there. And I know that from speaking to a few of the boys in the county set up there, that they've been training quite hard and they're looking pretty fresh and sharp. So we're going to make sure they'll hit the ground running there.
Yeah, I mean, let's have a look at Karaka's season. Obviously, probably didn't get the results last year that I think that you would have all set. You set pretty high standards. Certainly off the park, the club is in tremendous space. A terrific job, won Club of the Year, and rightly so with Counties Manukau cricket. Bit of a point to prove for the Premier side, at least heading into this year's campaign. You sort of feel that you're as good as any team in the competition, but perhaps didn't fire as many shots last year as you'd hoped?
Yeah, absolutely. Any season where our great rivals Pocky cleaned it up, that's gonna leave a bit of a sour taste in the mouth. And we had not that you have rocks under the beach towel in the winter, but the similar effect in the winter, whatever that may be. Rocks in your big blanket or your slippers or something. But yeah, I mean, we I think last year and in every season that we don't quite get where we want to, we lose key moments. And we certainly did that last year. We couldn't quite finish off, or our depth got tested on occasions, and it perhaps didn't quite stand up as much as we would have liked it to. But I think we can see that getting a lot fixed up this season. We obviously had, we had 3 players in the Premier Player Points top 5. Luke Williamson obviously winning it. So we've definitely got the ability there, and a few young guys coming through. And yeah, I think, like I say, that the key moments that we lost, I mean, one example last year, and this is obviously just the Pocky won those key moments, and that's why they had such a fantastic season. We had one game and we had Pocky about 100 for 8 chasing 200 or something, and Kurt Barnes, their inspirational leader, came out and whacked 48 not out or something off about 20 balls and got them home. And that's what we want to be doing, and I know there's a lot of players on our side that want to be winning those key moments themselves. So I think if we just go out there and keep training as hard as we are and continue our strong culture, as you've mentioned there, both on and off the field, I'm sure the results will come our way when we can finally clinch those moments.
But the plan at this stage, I see there's a few schedules. I know Counties Manukau Cricket have been working really hard on trying to pack everything into a full schedule. That all to be released, I guess, or confirmed next week, assuming that we are moving to the traffic light system. All 3 formats still very much up for grabs. Do you guys have a preference? Do you target sort of one format over another?
I wouldn't say we target one more over another. We want to win all 3. We did that back in 2019, and that was pretty special. So I wouldn't say we target one more than another. The WH Taylor is definitely the pinnacle. What's the shield? But the pinnacle competition. for the Premier grade, and we always go out to want to win the Warren Cup. So the Warren Cup being the combination of all three. That's always our biggest goal. Obviously, we want to win as many competitions along the way to win that, but that's the one we would target, although it's not its own format. But yeah, the WH Taylor would certainly be that would be the crowning glory if we won that one. And if you said to me, which one do you want to win, just from a selfish point of view, I'd definitely say that one. But Warren Cup being the overall club.
How do you sort of see the balance of power as we head into this season? I mean, you talked about Pukekohe Metro. They had, a season for the ages last year, won everything before them. Having said that, some of it was really close. There wasn't a lot in it. Think of that WH Taylor Shield the last weekend. Any number of sides could have triumphed, and Pukekohe came out on top. Manukau pushed them hard. You guys, obviously, on paper, that side looks like it could stack up against anyone. Papakura continued to take some steps. They've got a couple of exciting young players that we expect to make an impact this year. And then you look at the expansion teams, and who really knows what Weymouth are going to turn up with, and Southern Counties as well with that combined entity. How do you sort of see the balance of power? Is it sort of Pukekohe Metro out in front with the rest chasing, or perhaps not quite as clear-cut as that?
Yep, I probably do see us chasing them. I don't like saying that, and everyone will be probably laughing as I say that. But everyone will be chasing them. Their season last year, as I've said before, this is probably the most compliments I'll ever give them. But it was an amazing season, and they thoroughly deserved that. I do think the gap, just because they were so much better, everyone had to lift their game. So Manukau and ourselves, and I think towards the end of the season there we got close, and then we actually went all right at the National Club Championships as well. So I do see that gap closing. I definitely think in the Red Bull format, you're going to see your traditional Premier sides being the front runner. So ourselves, Puki and Manukau. But Papakura almost tripped us up last year too. And I think they actually beat Puki in, I'm not sure if that was a 1 day or it might have been a shortened 2-day match that they won that. But when it comes to the white ball stuff, particularly the 2020, I think Weymouth definitely proved their worth last season, making the final there. They caught a few sides, I think, a little bit off guard. I don't think that'll happen again. But I definitely see them, the way that their side, they like to go out and they like to score quickly. They've got a lot of sort of slow tweakers and whatnot, a few mystery spinners in there, which can be quite hard to hit, particularly if you get on the wrong sort of track, which is a bit of a dust bowl. So I think they're going to be a lot closer there. I think they will perform quite well there. I'm really intrigued to see how Southern Counties go. I really, really hope that they can band together and create a really, really, really strong side there with the goal, obviously, not having to be Southern Counties. Hopefully, in the future, they can stand on their own 2 feet and have their own premier sides in the club comp there. But yeah, making sure that they can stay consistent, both the new sides, Weymouth and Southern Counties, if they can stay consistent with selections and availabilities throughout the year. That's where I think they may be tested, and I hope they really rally there and do really well there, because as we all know, it takes more than about 12 strong players to have a strong Premier side. You probably go through about 20 to 25 Premier players in your Premier side each season. So your depth is certainly tested, and that's often where you win or lose games, as I alluded to earlier, where we fell a little bit short last year.
Yeah, certainly fascinating season ahead, and we will look forward to seeing those new teams, the 2 expansion teams, out on the park as early as next week. Mate, just on a personal level, as we sort of finish off here, your ambitions for the year outside of the team goals, rep cricket's obviously going to be a little more condensed, potentially missing more club stuff to, given the shorter season now. What are your ambitions in terms of rep cricket this year and working under a new coach as well, obviously?
Yeah, so the rep cricket ones I think you know this yet, but the goalposts have just shifted. So the rep season is now only going to be 2-day cricket. In the past few years, I've prioritised the club stuff on a Saturday, just because when counties players are out, it puts a lot of stress on the entire club. And, one person's missing from the top side, then you've got to pull everyone up, and then you end up needing to get a ring in or something for the bottom side. So I, thought it was time that, Karaka had put in a lot of support for me playing that rep cricket for a long time there. So a couple of years ago, I made that decision to not play the 2-day stuff, only because it conflicted with the Saturdays, not because it was a particular format. But now this year, all the white ball stuff for Counties has, and the Fergus, it's only going to be the Fergus Ickies, so that's all the 2-day stuff. So unfortunately, I've had to pull pin on that. I'm always available, and I love playing for Counties Manukau, but just unfortunately this season with the way it's structured, I don't think I'll be playing that. But I haven't retired. I'm not that old yet, mate. I haven't retired.
No, we certainly won't suggest that you are. It'll be fascinating anyway, seeing how that Counties Manukau side comes together under slightly new direction, obviously, as I say, this year, and just the change to the structure of the season and how that all sort of plays into form and who gets picked and whatnot. It's going to be a really interesting season. So we look forward to getting into it and talking about some stuff on the field in the not too distant future, mate. So enjoy and good luck for next week.
Will do. Cheers, Budgie. Thanks, mate.